Hello, Computer Science A students. This is Mr. Vargas. I made this video because I want to review a special folder that I made for you guys that will help you prepare for the exam this Friday and also will help you on exam day. But before I jump into how to download that folder and also what's in it, I just wanted to take a minute or two to just kind of go over the like exam day and just a few things about what you should be expecting. So the exam is going to be this Friday, May 15th at 4 p.m. and you're going to receive an e-ticket email about 2 days before the exam. That email is going to have your AP ID. So you're going to need that to start the exam. And they recommend that you click on the link in the e-ticket 30 minutes before the exam starts because you're going to have some information to fill in. Once the exam time starts, the first question will automatically appear and a timer is going to start counting down. So it's going to show 30 minutes. But really, they want you to take about 25 minutes for the first question and then give yourself 5 minutes to submit. And also, and then for the second question, you're going to get 20 minutes, but they recommend you take 15 to do your response and then 5 minutes to submit again. Um, yeah, so that's how the timing will work. And I did a earlier assignment that reviewed how to submit solutions. So make sure if you can do that again if you want. Um, but yeah, so all right. So what else do we have in here? So what to have on exam day? Exam day checklist. I'm gonna go over this. This is actually in the resource folder that I'm giving you. Um, Java quick reference is also gonna be in the resource folder that I give you, and I'll go over that in a little bit. Besides that, the other things that you need to have are pretty obvious. You need a device, you need to have a browser. They recommend Chrome, and you should have internet. All right. For typing your responses, they in the earlier activity I gave you, they reviewed all the different ways you can submit, like the different formats. But you can use Word. You can type it up in Google Docs and paste it. So there's lots of different ways to submit your answers. Those are I guess, two pretty safe ones. Or you can use your IDE and then paste it into the box. Just make sure you hit submit. All right. So another really important thing I wanted to review is what is permitted, because I don't want you guys to feel guilty or to feel like you're cheating if you're using notes, if you're using old programs, if you're using the Java cheat sheet that I emailed and that I'm going to go over in a little bit. All of that stuff is permitted. You can use your notes, you can use study guides, you can use previous assignments, you can use an IDE. Now, they said they're going to try to make the questions so that having an IDE won't be an advantage. But I can't imagine, even if you can't run your code, just the syntax highlighting helps me a lot when I work in an IDE. All right. So the question. So there's two questions. First one is going to be on either array or array list, and it's going to be 65% of the test. And that's going to be they're going to give you 30 minutes, but you should work on it for 25 minutes and then give yourself 5 minutes to submit. The second question is going to be on methods and control structures. So basically what this question is you're going to have to complete a method and you're going to have to use if statements and or loops to accomplish the task that method is supposed to do. So this one is similar to step tracker and AP calendar. All right. They posted some sample questions, and I was gonna use these this week to have you guys review, but there's no solutions online, and there was some formatting issues, and they just posted these, so I decided to have you guys look over another set of questions. But you can, if you finish looking over the ones that I'm gonna give you, you can also check these out. But I do need to point something out. So one thing that is on the sample test, and they said this before, is that there's gonna be a question or a part of each of these questions that is gonna be a short answer. So because I think you're so short on time, they're gonna there'll be two. It looks like the structure that they're gonna do is there's gonna be two short coding segments, and then there's gonna be one little short answer, and the short answer might be something like, if you were gonna do blank, how would you go about doing it, and you can just write a couple sentences to explain that. So just I'm gonna do a couple things this week to help you kind of prepare for that. Basically, looking at code and being able to put it into like just regular English. I am gonna do a couple things this week to help you with that. All right. What's covered? We've covered units 1 through 7 in class. That was loops, if statements, arrays, and array list. Basically, it's and so what's not covered is not really relevant right now. But so we've actually covered all of the material, the main material that's going to be on it when we were in class, and that's pretty much it. So that's the exam for exam day. Now the main point of this video is the resource folder that I made for you. So to access this resource folder, you're going to go to tinyurl.com/vargasap. And I'll send you guys that URL out as well. And what you're going to do is, so it's going to take you to a zip file inside of a Google Drive. You're just going to hit download. And then a folder will download. Now, for me, it just automatically unzips. But for you guys, you're gonna, if you're using Windows, it's gonna download as a zip file. You're gonna have to right click and do extract, and then you should be all good. So let's go over what's in here, and I'm gonna start with what I think is gonna be the most helpful document on exam day, and that is my Java cheat sheet, which I've sent to you guys previously. Now, I think it's not enough for you guys to just have this on your computer and then have never looked at it and just try to open it up on exam day and try to use it. You guys really, really should familiarize yourself with this document, because it's going to be very helpful on exam day. And the reason is, not only a lot of these cheat sheets, just like they go over like examples, like syntax, like how to use this POW method with examples. And that's good. But what's even better, what is going to be a lifesaver on exam day is this: algorithms, helpful algorithms, right? So algorithms are, how you solve a problem. And every question you see, you're basically trying to do one of these things. So if you looked at the way I've gone over scoring, right? A lot of the times you get like, they'll show you a helper method and they say use this. If you use the helper method, that's a free point. You don't even have to use it the right way. As long as you use it, that's a point. And then a lot of times you'll get a point for using the correct algorithm. So if you see a question and it says generate a random number, like in the question it says, oh, I want you to generate 100 random numbers between 5 and 50, right? And then you look at this document and you're like, all right, generating random numbers for the math class, click on it, go find it down here, generating a random number from minimum value to maximum value, right? And you post that in there, that's usually worth a point. Remember, each question is worth 9 points. That's over 10% of the question for just finding that little piece, and sometimes it can be more. So you really should know all these algorithms. So I've seen a lot of questions where they have you generate random numbers. I've seen they love strings on these tests. So there might be a question where they say search this huge sentence for the word for words, for the word whatever, and or you might have to do a method that will search for a word. And then look right here, string class, search a string class, and the algorithms are right here, helpful algorithms, and then right here, search a string. So if you're looking for the letter E, right here, substring, inside of twist equals E, and this right here this is the algorithm for searching a string for a substring. Maybe you need to search how many times a certain word appears, right? So this right here is the structure of how to do that. So let me go back to the top, and the best of all, 60 to 65% of your test is going to be on a question that either is arrays or array list, and these questions always are having you search for something, or they're having you sort the things, put them in a certain order, or they're having you find the biggest or the largest. And right here, you got the algorithms for doing that. So this document right here, you really should take some time this week to really be familiar with it. And on exam day, get ready to use it because it's gonna save you a lot of time and can come in helpful for everybody, the advanced students and the even some of you guys who are struggling a little bit. You know, these algorithms could give you the structure that you need in your problem to just be able to get to that 4 to 5 point average, you know, on that these questions usually have. So that's the first document I wanted to go over. The next thing, the main thing that you're going to be doing to prepare yourself this week is the practice free response questions. So I've broken them up into, and I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. So like I don't, there's no point in me giving you, and I know some of you want more stuff. I'll give you some resources, but I wanted to keep this manageable. So like I mentioned, 33, like about 35% of the test is going to be a question on methods and control structures. And in here you have AP Calendar, which we've done already. And then I've added a new one, Frog Simulator. This was from, I think, 2 years ago, or maybe last year. No, I think it was 2 years ago. Frog Simulator. And, you know, so this is another question that deals with methods and control structures. And what I've done for each question is, so you have the question, right? So for Frog Simulator, there's the question. And then you have the scoring, so you can see how they scored it. You have the solution, and then I've included a video explaining it, explaining how they got to the answer. Now, I put it in a text document because my Mac saves links in a weird way that doesn't open on Windows. So just open this text document and then click on this. And right here you have a video. Now, this is not me.
2018. It's question number one, and I like this question a lot because it adds a little bit of what I would consider.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. So you have a nice little concise explanation of the solution to Frog Simulator. All right, so for methods and control structures, you've got two problems. Just know them inside and out. All right, don't drive yourself crazy trying to find 100 questions. Know those two problems inside and out. Print them out, write them out, annotate them. All right, so that's methods and control structures. And then 65% of the test is going to be either on arrays or array list. So I've done the same thing. I've given you two. All right, one is the one that we've done together. So go back, look it over, you know, make sure that you understand it. And same thing for all of them. I've given you the question, the scoring, the solution, and then a link to the video explanation. So look over Horse Barn, and then I've added a new one. This is the sound question. This is from the 2011 AP exam. So, and the same thing, I have a video explanation of it.
Free response. So.
All right. And then the same thing for array list. You have cookie order, which is one that we've done. Look it over again. Make sure you know it well. And then you have a new one, delimiter. So, you know, look at the question, try it on your own, then check out the solution, and then maybe watch the video, and just be familiar with. If you're familiar with all six of these, and you know how to use this Java cheat sheet, and I think you'll be in a decent shot on exam day to do well. Now, a couple other documents in here. So we have the AP exam day checklist. So take your time. You should print this out and just go through it one by one, and make sure that you that there's not anything that I missed. Um, but you know, you write your character ID here, you put the exam date and the time in case I don't know who's gonna forget, but maybe so you don't forget, put this in a visible place. Let me see other things that are important when you start. Well, you know, over here we have the demo. I had you guys do the demo. Make sure if you didn't do it that you should. This was graded, so make sure you know if you do it and you finish the assignment. You know, I'll give you a late grade on it. But even if forget about the grade, you know, you should make sure you do this to understand how it's gonna work in the browser and all that. Another important thing that I thought was interesting was it says don't refresh the browser and don't use the back arrow. So once this opens up, it's running in your browser, so be careful with that. Um, put your AP ID on the top of your document on whatever you submit. It says I have typed my AP 8-character AP at the top of each document, so you should do that. And just print this out and read it over. It's really wordy. I don't want to go through everything in here. Um, but that's the checklist. And then I have the quick reference. I'm not gonna go over this too much. This is if we were normally taking the exam, this is the document you would have. I feel like the cheat sheet that I gave you is a lot better. And actually, the cheat sheet has a link right to the quick reference, so you could use that as well. But I downloaded it just in case. So I mean, you should. It wouldn't hurt. You should take at least of 15, 20 minutes and just look these over before the exam day. So that's it. So that I'm giving you guys this folder. I want you to download this folder. I want you to make sure you're familiar with everything in there. I want you to practice look over the AP exam questions, the three that I've done, and then the three new ones. What I'm gonna do this week for an assignment is I know it's gonna be too much. You guys have other AP exams to have you guys like code these without like the solution. Like I know for some of you guys, I'm sure would love to do it. You love coding. Some of you guys, that makes you have like an anxiety attack just thinking about having one of these due every day. So I decided to just give it to you guys, and you guys can do with it what you think is makes sense. But I am gonna give you an assignment where I have you watch the video explanation, and then I'm gonna have you explain his solution. So I don't want the code. I want you to explain it. And I'm doing this to help you practice going from coded language, like code, to like just English language. So in a couple sentences, you just tell me what is he doing. Like for example, for the horse barn, you could say, for part B, what did I do? I made a temporary array, and every time I found the horse, I copied it over to the temporary array. That's what I did. So you just have to just find the way to describe what he did in just a few sentences of normal spoken language. So I'm gonna have you do that for the three problems. And another reason is I want to make sure that you guys look at these too, because I know some of you guys are gonna. If I didn't do that, you wouldn't even look at that video until Thursday night when you try to cram for this. So I'm gonna make these due earlier in the week. That way, I know for sure that you guys, and it's gonna be graded. So more for completion, but I want to make sure that you guys have looked at these earlier in the week so that you can have like Thursday to review, and then sleep at a decent time on Thursday night. But anyways, that's it for my exam day resources folder overview. For those of you who want more material to review and to prepare, and you've already gone through the resource folder and you've done the 6 problems that I told you to look at, and you just want more stuff, or maybe you want some easier stuff to review some basics. I've given you guys 2 courses, and I haven't really required that anyone do any of it, but there's so much content here that you could really make up a lot of ground if you feel a little bit behind and you want some extra prep. I'm not requiring this for anyone. I know it could be a lot, but here are the 2 resources. So one of them, you've seen this one before. I had you guys all join this class, and a couple of you have used it. Some of you guys discovered that a lot of the free response questions I've been giving to you are actually, they go over them in here. For example, look at here, AP Calendar. So this is a full curriculum that goes through all 10 units, but obviously this exam is not covering units 8, 9, and 10. So you can use this if you want. You can review some basics. You can just jump to arrays or array lists. Maybe you're a little sketchy on arrays. You go to Unit 6, arrays, and right here they go right from the beginning, how to create an array, what arrays are. There's videos that explain it, and there's even little spaces where you can answer questions and actually even run code. So again, this is on runestone.academy, and there were instructions earlier on how to join my class. You just look for Pathways CSA, and you should be able to join that. So that this is one resource. Another resource, I just sent this out, but this is Code HS, which usually is free, but they've added the premium version because of the whole homeschooling stuff. And again, this is similar to CS Awesome. If anything, I think it looks a little neater, a little I guess better designed. But same thing. Right here, you go to Arrays, and they have lessons. They have lectures, someone explaining the basics of it, and
Hi, in this lesson, we'll begin looking at arrays.
so I'm going to go back. And there's parts where you write code. So it has a built-in compiler. There's questions. There's let me go back. So look right here, you can run code in here. So it might even be fun, even if you just to tinker around with and see if you like it. I would take your time to check this out. Um, so again, so those are two tools that pretty much have everything you need, and both of them have a lot of practice free response questions. So if you look like here under arrays, look at all these practice free response questions for you to try. And this Code HS also has a lot of practice questions. So right here, developing algorithms using arrays. Some of these are good. So again, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I'm not requiring that you do this, but if you feel like you want more, then no pressure. Check these out, and there's a lot of content here. So I just wanted to point that out for those of you who I know want more than maybe what I'm providing with the folder and the 6 practice problems.